Hello YouTube, welcome in this fine day, and this is my Scarab God historic Brawl deck. This deck aims to win with a mix of blue-black control and Reanimator. We have the Scarab God at the top, and we have juicy cards to reanimate. And yeah, just a few nice low-end cards to get us there. The deck is very grindy. Probably the grindiest decks I have done in ever, pretty much, on this channel. And I usually record my intros, then play the games, and then I record my outros. But I decided to re-record the intro because, just as a heads up, this is a very long video, and I'm just not the person to cut games like that I play, because that feels like kind of, I don't know, doesn't feel like honest, like I don't, if you know what I mean, right? And so I'm deciding to keep all the gameplay in and just have a very long video, and you probably enjoy it. I will also rearrange the matches a bit, so it's not like yeah, just the very long matches at the beginning. Just ease you in, basically. As for the deck, there are multiple like Scarab Gods wants to go in two directions. First and foremost into the control direction, and then into the Reanimator direction. And you have to get a nice middle ground here, right? The deck was very hard to build in a way that there are a lot of cards that I want to play in this deck, but ultimately decided to cut. I am not running Scholar of the Ages, the 7 mana 2/3 that when it enters the battlefield returns 2 instant sorceries from the graveyard to the hand, because if I do that, I also have to run multiple reanimation spells like Blood for Bones or whatnot, because those are in instant sorceries, and you can basically play a reanimation spell, get that back, and another thing to loop basically an infinite amount of cards over the course of multiple turns. But that is very slow and grindy, and I think the deck can get there anyways. And the obvious, like, the cards I play over these instant sorceries are Body Double, because I can bring that back with Scarab God. So that is like a second copy and also reanimation spell, like just a nice mix here. And Liliana Death's Majesty, because she just synergizes so well with the deck and is just additional value over the course of the game. And milling myself is actually quite good in this deck, because I can just get stuff into the bin with Scarab God. In total, I'm playing 9 creatures, which doesn't seem a lot for your regular Scarab God deck, like how people usually build it, at least from what I've seen. But I only need a good card. Like, I don't need like 20 cards that I have to decide. Why decide when I just have a good card in the graveyard, right? I don't need to have a Brain Maggot or some Kitesafe Rebooter in there when I can just bring back a Meteor Golem. I have a lot of cards that draw and discard, like Thirst for Knowledge, Thirst for Meaning, to get these cards into the bin and cheat them out early, or like just if I'm in a pure value matchup, I can keep these and just discard other cards, right? It is a bit flexible, and that's what I like about it. And yeah, rest of the deck, Ashiok is just good, and yeah, I hope you enjoy really long, grindy Dimir control games, because that's what you will see for the, like, I don't know, 1 hour 40 minutes or what the video will be. Anyways, I will see you in the upcoming games, and I hope you will enjoy them. We're playing against Krenko mob boss, and maybe this time the game will last a bit shorter, you know, but we will see. I think I'm going to lead with the Fabled Passage here into, and let's just go Black Source, because we actually do have more double black, and I'm fine with being on 1 blue. I'm going to stifle the first opportunity we get here. Like, maybe it's better to stifle the Krenko. Conspicuous Snoop, Essence Scatter. Sure. I think we can't really afford to, like, take too much damage here. Yeah, I think I'm going to just use the Obstructionist to stifle the Krenko activation. Right? That seems like a decent thing to do. Oh, land. Or maybe I'm just going to stop the... Yeah, okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stifle this. Like, if they play Krenko here... Sure, haste. Or I could just... I also like that. Yeah, I like playing the Obstructionist, blocking the Motivator. Then preventing Krenko from getting haste. So now this is the part where we just uptick Ashiok to create a board presence, and then Temple of Deceit into hopefully draw land, and then Agent of Treachery. Okay, that goes down to 5, that is fine. We are going to scry. Yes, perfect. And return the Krenko, because I really don't want to take any chances here. And then play the Scarab God and not attack. Protect the Ashiok. Like, if they have a shock, they have a shock. Right? But still, taking chances. Not my preferred thing to do. And also, like, blocking the Krenko prevented a decent Volley veteran, so yeah. Nice. If they play the Krenko again here, I'm just going, okay, 10th Street Dodger, and that puts Ashiok down to 1 currently. If they have a Lightning Strike, Ashiok is dead. But that's dead anyways, right? So, oh well. Yep, block you. And if nothing special happens, okay, Wily Goblin. Like, I'm going to steal the Krenko when I have the time, but I'm just going to... Lava Coil. Yep, Command Zone, please. This, create one, and just Meteor Golem, the 10th Street Dodger. And then wait for them to just play the... Yep, okay, Chain Waller is a... Oh, Chain Waller is actually a decent card against Goblins. Because, like, okay, when we get to 7, it's likely over anyways, but... we could get there and it may be relevant, right? Okay, Icon of Ancestry. Goblin. Scorching Dragonfire taking out the Ashiok, so that's pretty nifty. Okay, I'm just going to follow up with a... yeah, swing in with the team and Scarab Godding. Then creating value out of nowhere, and this is probably over by now. Nice. Play Krenko. I know you want to. Okay, that's a Legion War Boss, but that's also very, very, very manageable. That's nice. Yeah, and at this point, just attacking in with these two. Then we have the double Scarab God activation ready. Yeah, makes sense. That makes sense. We can bring back the Obstructionist in the air and a Motivator on top. Sure. We double block the Warboss here. That way we can just get that back. That is a good game. Slowly but surely exiling their library. Sure. Siege Gang, we are taking you. We are taking you. And that is a good game. Oh, whoops, I missed lethal, right? Yeah, I missed lethal by doing this. Oops, I should have... Okay, I should have put in a stop into the upkeep to put in, like, 2 more zombies and then put them to 4. But it is fine. We still had the lethal, I believe, with bringing back the Claimer Shaman. No, we couldn't activate the 10th Street Dodger actually. Yeah, GG. We are playing against Zacama, Primal Calamity, and Thought Distortion is not the greatest in this particular matchup. Obviously, if there were control like this, would be absolutely insane. But as it currently stands, we can just discard this to the Thirst of Knowledge. So I'm actually fine with that, right? We lead with the Fabled Passage. If we lead with the Fabled Passage, we can top deck into Murderous Rider later on, so that's fine. Because, like, as it stands with the current hand, we can't play Murderous Rider on 3 if we draw that and we want to use that immediately. But, yeah. We obviously counter the mana ramp, and if they don't ramp, we just going to use the Radical Idea. But I think it's highly likely that they're going to ramp. Yeah. Not going to let that resolve. Just run them out of cards. It works quite nicely against Naya. Thirst for meaning or thirst for knowledge? I think since we have something to like, we have Mind Stone and Arcane Signet and whatnot. Oh. Okay, we have to let that resolve. We have Mind Stone and Arcane Signet and whatnot, but so this has more targets. This is the reason why I'm leading with this, because I kind of want to discard this as well, and then I can discard the Mind Stone, Meteor Golem or whatnot later to this if we draw into them. Okay, talking about a Mind Stone, an Arcane Signet, but still kind of want to discard the Thought Distortion here. I could just... It's interesting. Yeah, I could just get rid of the Radical Idea, but I think I have enough lands currently. Yeah. Okay. Rivulet and play you. Then we have the Thirst for Knowledge, discarding more cards into the bin, and yeah, just ramping is pretty efficient. And I think just getting a peek at their hand with the Thought Distortion from the grave, thanks to the Scholar of the Lost Trove, is a decent line of play as well. They currently seem to whiff a bunch. As the Scatter sure seems nice, but I don't feel like I'm going to need the Chupacabra now. There is nothing of value that I want to remove here. Yeah, let's just play it like this. We could play the Scarab God, but I don't think that's the play overall. Let's just play Swamp and double Radical Idea and hold up Essence Scatter. That is a thing. Or no, nah. Yeah. We can do that. We have enough mana, that like untapped mana available to us, that we can play the Scholar anyways. Counter spells, double Radical Idea. Yeah, it's just fine. Okay, Sacred Foundry coming in tap. Oh, I see what this is going. They don't have double green available to them. Oh, that's unfortunate. Sure, Radical Idea. Then we discard the Swan Song. Let's just... Lands. Who needs lands in a Scarab God deck, right? Let's just be really greedy about it. Okay, Scholar. Flashback the Thought Distortion, and hopefully just exile their whole hand. It's going to be magnificent. Maybe they will just surrender, but I'm kind of curious what they have in hand. I'm kind of curious. Veil of Summer. Oh, I see. I like that. That's some dedication. I do approve. I do approve. Yeah, going to do this. And now I think I don't need the Swan Song anymore. I don't have an additional land drop to make, so that's kind of unfortunate. We have Thoughtseize and Thought Erasure to pick apart their hand. What do we have in the graveyard? We have the Chupacabra in the graveyard to bring back with the Liliana. They have nothing in the graveyard, really. Oh, it's complicated. I kind of want to, like, just do this and the Thought Erasure, because it's more expensive. Yeah. Like, I want to hit my land drops, so that's why I'm keeping one land here. But I also want to, like, these two are kind of valuable. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. Thoughtseize you. And, honestly, I don't care about any of these rares, and these are just so many rares that, like, I can't pick one and be like, oh yeah, the problem is solved. So I'm just going to pick the Hour of Promise here and Lily and start generating value from here. And they can wipe, and they can wipe, and they can wipe. But at the end of the day, somewhere along the line, we will get an Agent of Treachery and steal the Mirari's Wake. Hopefully we can just counter the Zacama. Yeah. That Veil of Summer was pretty good. Okay, float all your mana, do your worst, and get countered. If they wipe here, we have the Scarab God to, like, we can play Scarab God, then God of the Lost Trove, get this back, and yeah. Nope, not going to happen. Not going to happen. The zombie token will block here, because Liliana is a really efficient tool against the Zacama. Yep. The rest seems nice. Sure, let's pick a board wipe, and I think it's going to be this one. They can play two anyways, I think. Yeah, sure, do this. And swing it. And like, yeah, but like, I just want to, like, pick the Star of Extinction because I do value my lands here and there, but yeah, just I think, yeah, they're just going to double board wipe this turn. If they do pick off the Zacama, can just do what? Hostage Taker? But yeah, the Liliana is quite annoying for them, because they can't really destroy that. Yeah, let's just force it. Also, oh yeah, they have enough white again to do that. Oh well. But yeah, that's just exactly what I wanted to have here. Is there a way for us to get rid of enchantments? I don't think so, except Agent, obviously. Okay, why a Boreal Grazer first? Can't you just Hour of Revelation? Okay, that is interesting. Interesting. Heartless Act, perfect. Good card against the Zacama. I like it. So we uptick. The reason why we uptick is the reason why we uptick is we want to ultimate later, and this board is fine. Honestly, I don't want the Liliana to get hit here. I'm just going to do nothing. I can draw a card with the Castle Lochthwain. I can reanimate something if need to, but I think just the Zacama will obviously be a bit annoying here. We can Heartless Act our own Scholar, then body double the Scholar from the graveyard and Essence Scatter the Zacama. That is one thing we can do. Right? Counter Zacama over and over and over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Hour of Promise. Really an annoying card here, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Yeah, they can Hour of Promise anyways afterwards to get rid of the Lily. Sure. Do your worst, opponent. Oh, and I should have... God damn it. So I missed my timing window on the killing the Zacama thing. Because in response to the trigger, I should have just brought back the Ravenous Chupacabra. Now it's too late. Let's just Heartless Act. Zacama here? It's weird. Let's just let that resolve for now. Sure. That gets back. I'm currently thinking if I should get the Hostage Taker. No, the Chupacabra does more, right? They can just play the Zacama again if I do that. I think I'm going to like just body double and destroy this bird token here. Yep. Destroy you. I wanna keep my Liliana alive. I really do. Play you again and then the actual Chupacabra now. To keep my Liliana healthy. Okay. They can just do a bunch of stuff here though, right? No, I'm going to keep it there. Don't think they have a way to like stifle the trigger, so let's just put it into the hand next turn. So that's one. What? They can't. I don't think they can kill everything here, right? Yeah, thanks to that, those two having a higher toughness than 3, they can't kill that. Well, they can kill this and this, right? But not everything, so I can still chump block here. Maybe they want to hold onto the Zacama activation. That is also a thing to do, right? We have lost the Ravenous Chupacabra and the body double, but I like just one agent would do it, right? Simply due to the fact that steals the Mirari's Wake and then Zacama becomes super manageable, or just like stealing Zacama, but that's not too effective because the Hour of Revelation can get rid of that. Yeah. They can kill one, like this thing as well, right? But yeah, Liliana will stay at 8. And I think I like that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, sure. Gain life and gain life again. I'm fine with that. That's a zombie though. Yes, hand. I am going to... Yeah, let's just destroy all non-zombie creatures. This one survives, this doesn't. Yep. And then we can...
I'll bring you back.
Scarab God. Huh. I don't think there is a there is a world where we need this, right? But there is also no world where we actually like benefited from what do I want to say, like the additional mana. Oh well, unnecessary kinda. And now we can Scholar and flashback the Thought Erasure to dig deeper. I like that. Or we are just going to put a stop into the upkeep to do that at instant speed, yeah. And then your graveyard, and then just Scholar and Thought thingy. Thought Distortion, in case they haven't drawn something else. Okay, it's a forest. Still, I think that was that play was worth to make. Okay, we are running out of ways to deal with Zacama. But they're also, like, we just need to get to the agent. That is our plan. They're gaining a bunch of life though. Ashiok is also a way we can win this. It is certainly a way. Right? And just ping down our whole board. Right, yeah. Give me agent. I want my agent now. I want to speak to the manager. Rari's Wake was the one card they protected nicely from their hand, and they had the opening, we had the Swan Song, but couldn't counter it, we didn't have the mana. Sure, get back here. And I'm currently thinking about just using... Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I can't use... I need to particularly first, but I can't mill myself to dig deeper to agent and get that back into the same turn. But since they have no board wipes right now... yes, hand. I think I'm going to steal the Zacama if that becomes relevant. Liliana. Yes.
Another minion never
Very nice. And now we flash back the Meteor Golem to get rid of the Mirari's Wake, finally. So that is one annoying thing gone, and now we can Heartless Egg Disdainful Struggle. We don't even need to attack, right? Ping down the board, sure, do your worst. They can kill the Liana as well. Oh, but like they kill the Liana, but then we Heartless Act the Zacama, and then we have the Disdainful Stroke as a backdoor, and we just win the long game from now on. Yep. It is grindy. Decline. So, Scarab God bypassing the commander cost in certain matchups is certainly a perk. Let me tell you that. Because that just allows me to, like, play Scarab God and reanimate something at the same time. It's just perfect. And also really nice that we are at actual 9 lands, because they managed to kill the Arcane Signet here. Yep. No attacks. And yeah, put that into the hand. I suspect that they're just swinging in at Lily. They can also destroy the artifact, like, they can kill this, funnily enough, with being an artifact. Not with the 3 damage though, but this is an artifact, right? So yeah, that also goes to the graveyard. Do I care about this? Yes, I do. I'm going to triple block here. Sole reason being Banefire. That is the card we are playing around. We don't want to dip our life total too low because of Banefire. And yeah, as I said, we win the long game, but like just us getting Banefired is not very nice. Yep. Could have destroyed this as well, right? Or maybe they just want Zacama to survive in this case. God-Pharaoh's statue. Agent of Treachery. Yep. Give me that. And thank you very much. So statue is obviously a bit annoying here, but we're just on the beat down. So obviously that was a decent top deck, but I still think like Heartless Act, Disdainful Stroke, it's just one turn faster, right? To kill them basically with this.
Nothing is more loyal than the dead.
And did we have lethal somehow, or did we miss something? No, we didn't. We can't. We can't activate anything of the color. We're just on the opposite of the color spectrum, basically. I'm just going to end the turn. I have lethal in play, and if I play the Scarab God, I can't keep up the Disdainful Stroke. I take no chances here, and that is a good game. Yep. GG. GG. That was the top deck of the century. We are playing against Korvold, Fae-Cursed King, and the giant colors. We are going first. We like that. We have Agonizing Remorse, Murderous Riders, all the good stuff. Beautiful. Disdainful Stroke is pretty decent against Korvold, I've heard. It is a counterspell that works, so we are going to keep that. Agonizing Remorse is obviously quite nice as well. Take a peek at their hand. One more black source, one more blue source. We are ready to rumble, right? They're fetching what? Green? Something at least. Okay, Evolving Waltz. Oh man, they're really thinking about this. And hopefully can destroy their plans by taking something valuable from their hand. So this means they don't like they have awkward double color cards in their hand or whatnot. Yeah. Ah, I see. So those beeps and boops you got there in the background are Discord noises that Mr. Salt here sent to me, because apparently it's just that his Discord crashed. Because remember, I am like there is no official Historic Brawl queue right now, obviously, and we're playing on the Historic Brawl Discord. And the link to that is always in the description of my videos, obviously. And yeah, I am always like having friendly matches. Also, like the stats that Wizards of the Coast sends, like after every set, right, with Ikoria and Theros and whatnot, you have the favorite game mode listed and how many wins you have in their favorite game mode. It's always for me direct challenge. I always have around like 500 wins or more. So I'm just playing a ton of Historic Brawl on this Discord, really. Also, like not just for YouTube, also just like to test decks and because I'm having fun. He's back. We are going to Agonizing Remorse him. And I really don't like the Rhythm of the Wilds, to be honest. Not being able to counter his cards is going to be quite annoying. At this point, obviously, we just want to draw lands, and I think I'm actually fine with just using the Nimble Obstructionist on the treasure map. Hopefully they don't just do that in my instead, because that would be a bit awkward, but oh well. Because I kind of want to counter the Word Shaper as well. Yes, activate the treasure map. Yeah, no. Don't go to your end step. No, god damn it. We're going to play Cast of Ventress. But yeah, I think I have to counter the World Shaper here. Like, just stop their mana development from headpinning. Okay. Bottom. That's good to see. And after all, we can just, like, drop the Scarab God next turn. Yep, Disdainful Stroke. We drop Scarab God next turn, and then reanimate that. Pretty sweet. Like, milling ourselves is good, and then having more mana available is also obviously good. They didn't put a stop in their upkeep though. Maybe they want, I don't know. Weird. Also, they note that they tap the black so that I don't have something like a Murderous Rider here. Well, they could make another land drop, right? Okay, perfect. Just perfect. One more land would obviously be quite beneficial, right? And another thing to note, if we draw land here and they play Korvold in response to the sacrifice trigger happening, we can bounce the Korvold and then they don't get to draw off the sacrifice. We could also just Nimble Obstructionist the treasure map flip. Or just, like, I think it's even better that, like, if we draw land here, just Dream Eater bounce the treasure map. Okay, none of that is happening, apparently. And we're just going to swing in here. And I'm currently considering using the Nimble Obstructionist on the last treasure map activation here. Okay, we can Field of Ruin, get a Black Source right now, right? Yeah. Get rid of this. And that's just like, I just kind of want to filter my mana to black here. Because we have 2 double black cards, and that's why I want to, like, throw the field away, because we also have the time to do that, really. And then Nimble Obstructionist. The treasure map. Yep. So that prevents one counter being put on there, and we get 2 more draws by doing that. Oh, perfect. And then we can just Dream Eater the treasure map here. If they do decide to drop the Korvold here, it may just be better to just, like, bounce that, right? But it kind of depends. Kind of depends. Because, like, a flip treasure map is obviously quite annoying. It's just so much mana, and the treasures draw them a bunch of cards with Korvold. Like, even if, like, we bounce the Korvold here, it's just really something. Yeah, like, I like bouncing the treasure map here. And one thing to think about is maybe we want to instant speed the Dream Eater. So they use 1 more mana for their turn, but they get the additional scry. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do that. I kind of want to make them use the 1 mana here. And if we have a way to discard this, then we can get that as instant speed, obviously. Just a bunch of neat things happening. Okay, can't do anything about that. Land on top is obviously not nice. They get the scry here. And yeah, Dream Eater will come in handy. Sure. Treasure map. Treasure map. Please activate your treasure map. If they don't, I'm just going to Murderous Rider at the end step, or just like reanimate something. Probably the World Shaper. But yeah, I imagine that they just like try to flip it now. Come on. Do your worst. And obviously Dream Eater, yes, perfect. Bounce this to their hand. Okay, we kind of don't need those, right? We have enough lands. Do we want the duress? Kind of, like, yeah, kind of want to take a look at their hand, what's in there. But at the same time, do I really care? I could just... Okay, here's the thing. Yeah, I think it's probably beneficial to put this into the grave. Then we drop an island and just play a natural Scholar of the Lost Trove. That way we can agonizing remorse what's in their hand. So I like that. Milling ourselves for 4 here. Yep, bounce you. And we could have also bounced the Korvold, obviously, but we're just going to Murderous Rider that, maybe? Don't know. It's interesting. Oh, Swan Song. Swan Song is interesting. Yeah, I mean, okay. Multiple options. But I think this is maybe more annoying to them. Like playing the Lily and then reviving what? Nothing? That lets me, like, I don't care about the treasure map anymore because it takes so long to get that online. I can just... Okay, here's the thing, I don't have enough black available to me to just play Murderous Rider and activate the Scarab God, so that's quite annoying. Obstructionist getting back. It's just, we know that there is a land on top that they're going to draw, so let's just agonizing remorse them. Yep. Oh yes, that is very good to take in this situation. Yep, because that could have been horrible. Horrible, horrible. So obviously the rampaging for Brontodon is a problem, and the Dragonmaster Outcast is also a problem in the long run. We kind of do just want to find the Agent of Treachery here, right? Yeah. I mean, we could have also like cast Swan Song, Murder, right, the Korvold, but we can still do that later. And if we draw land, like if we draw Black Source specifically, our hand would be so good because then we have Murderous Rider, Scarab God, and Swan Song up, and then just go to town. We currently have full information here, and they could just go Nylea's Intervention for 5, which would be a spicy play because then the Korvold survives. But if they do that, we can just revive the Dream Eater with the Lily, bounce the Korvold to reset that as well, right? And like they don't really have good attacks due to that fact. Yeah, they are in a pickle. They are really in a situation here. Nalia. Oh, and then okay. They search for Field of the Dead at the very least. I think that is a play that I can agree upon. And what else? Also, this resets the top of their library for the Oracle of Moldaya. Bajuka Bog. Oh shit, it's a Bajuka Bog. Currently we don't have anything special in the graveyard, and remember, we can take the opponent's cards as well. Okay. Sure, scry. And kind of want to like draw board wipe maybe. Yeah, board wipe would seem decent overall. I really hope they attack me here, but I don't think that's ever happening. If near Deadlands. That is black. So that is pretty nice. Yeah, let's just Murderous Rider the we can Murderous Rider the Dragoncast Outcast and then just gain a bunch of tokens ourselves here. No attacks. And then just relax a bit. We have the Swan Song ready to go as well. But there is currently nothing that we kind of want to Swan Song. Really. Field of the Dead is going to make a bunch of tokens here. Treasure map. No. The Bajuka Bog not being at instant speed is quite good, because then we can like dictate a bit where we want to go from here. Rada, that seems moderately scary, only with more, if that has trample, that is a problem. The Rampaging Brontodon is obviously bit weird in this situation for us, because that actually has trample, right? Maybe put a stop into our upkeep. I don't know what I want to do now. So yes, I could have also Ifnir Deadlanded the Dragon Master, but then I wouldn't have gotten it back, by the way. So that's also a thing to think about. We're a bit like we're really choked on black right now. They float a bunch of mana, presumably for the Nissa. And yeah, the one card in this matchup we want to see the most right now is Agent of Treachery, because we would take the Korvold, I believe. No, the Brontodon, right? Yeah, just the Brontodon for now, and then we can just reanimate that over and over. Kind of, I think I'm in later iterations I can just try and get the a Phyrexian Tower into this deck, because Phyrexian Tower allows me to actually sacrifice my own cards here. So that's a bit awkward, obviously. But yeah, the board state is clogging up quite nicely. Sure, that untaps. But they don't. They really don't want to attack here, because like these going into the graveyard is super annoying. And if they play the Bajuka Bog, I can just instant speed reanimate thing to save that from the Bajuka Bog. It gets exiled anyways, but I still get value out of it, and that's what they want to avoid here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have enough for the Brontodon. They should probably play the Brontodon. What did they play? Yeah, another forest raid. Sure. Sure. Give me your Dragon Master outcard, please. There's nothing better, right? Yeah, Dragon Master outcard is the card to play, or the card to take. Thirst for more knowledge. That seems quite nice. 1, 2, 3. Like this. We probably want more black here in this situation. Oh yes. Yes, just the artifact. Perfect. And now we have a choice, right? We can swing the Scholar at the Nissa, then... Oh yes. Yeah, let's just swing Scholar and Dream Eater at Nissa. Right? Try to kill that. And yes, their blocks theoretically line up very well, but in practice they don't want my Ah, I see. Perfect. Okay. I respect that. They don't want Scholar to go to the grave, right? Yes, block like this. Yes. No. Oh yeah, okay, they found this line. Yes, that is fine. And now I shall... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lily. Return Scholar. Return Meteor Golem. Kill the Rampaging Ferocidon. And they're only exile the Dream Eater now, which is fine, right? But the most important thing out of this play is these are the actual cards now. So whatever happens here is like these can go to the graveyard again and actually be reanimated by a Scarab God. But most importantly as well, the Rampaging Ferocidon is now in the graveyard, so I'm going to take that for like future plays. I like that. I like that. That is very clever. They exiled their own graveyard so that we can't take the Ferocidon here. That is very, very nice. Now we have the decision to make between, do we want to bring back the Dream Eater and bounce the Korvold to reset that, or just bounce the dragon? And I think it's going to be the dragon. Obviously, the best draw in the deck would be Agent of Treachery. I don't even know what we want to take at that point. Maybe the field, maybe the Korvold. I think it's going to be the field, and then we can bounce the Korvold problematic cards later. Scapeshift, obviously, creating a ton of zombie tokens, but we are good at magic, and we are just going to top deck Ritual of Soot, right? Or Languish. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, not having 2 mana up here is... 1 mana up is a big problem. Kind of wanted to swansong that. Oh well, but I think this is the point where we lose if we don't top deck something. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can just... yeah. I think our best bet is to reanimate something in our upkeep. That way we have... one more scry with the Scarab God. Also, if we get rid of both creatures, I just realized... oh, we have lethal! We have... no, they play the Arboreal Grazer, right? Okay. So we don't have lethal. Which is unfortunate. Oh no, we... oh no, that is... yeah, it is not lethal. Oh! Oh, obviously, they draw a ton of cards. How could I forget that? Also, we all know about their hand, which is hilarious. Yeah, you should play that Ritual of Soot. I think that's pretty nice here. Are we just dead? Oh yeah, we're just dead. GG. Because what happens now is they're going to... Well, yeah, you could Ritual of Soot, then Heartless Act the Scholar. But my idea was that they could just go for Heartless Act and on the Scholar and then eliminate the token. But yeah, this is not a winning line of play, because putting us to 2 is actually not that great for them. I'm very fine with that, actually. Well, not very fine, just moderately fine. Just call it what it is, really. So we obviously have to Dreameater the Korvold next turn, right? Sure, another land. They can sacrifice the Blast Zone here to destroy everything with 1 CMC, but... And now they can't eliminate anything here. And that is not good. Like, these two can attack, but these two can just block quite nicely. And I think they messed up. Right? Especially because now they don't have greed for the Dawn-Tread Relic. Oh, they have, but it's the forest. Okay, 18. But yeah, it is looking grim for them. They they really messed up here. They really did. So at this point, what do they even want to do here? I don't know. For sure hit me for 19, right? Like, hit... If they had 1 more mana, or 1 more land drop, that would have done it, but I'm at 1. And 1 is not 0, and that is enough to win. Okay. So, since we're bouncing the Korvold, I can also just do that at upkeep to, like, scry a bunch, right? Like, Surveil, yeah, Surveil and Scry, both, right? Do they have any form of direct damage in their deck? That is the real question. Okay, we can't use the Infinite Deadlands anymore, really. That is one thing to note. We do get back the Dreameater. Yeah, Scholar doesn't do anything specific here. Yeah, just... Yep. Dreameater the Korvold back to hand. And this is interesting. I kind of want to keep the Essence Scatter around. Is that... So how would that play out? No, the Essence Scatter... I have the Tails End and the Heartless Act here. So maybe just the Castle Lochthwain. Like, because we want to dig deeper to specific cards in this scenario. Remember, we still get the Scry, right? But we won't utilize that. Okay, because with the land on top, we can keep up the Swan Song as well. And that is obviously quite good. So let's just play it like this. Kind of want to return you, you know? You are quite a menace. Yep. Keep on top. Castle Lochthwain. Body double. Ooh, baby. Body double, getting back Scholar, and then... What? Fetch something other than the graveyard? Okay. They do have 4 attackers in this case, right? Yeah, like, I can't swing it because they can remove 1 blocker, then they have 4 attackers, we have 3 blockers. We bring back the Murderous Rider here. What is on top of the library? The Dryad of the Elysian Grove. The Blast Zone can't currently down take anything. I actually can attack. And I also think I should attack. if I can, because just getting in that damage to win the game down the road is really important, because I can Swan Song the Eliminate and bring back something, right? Like I can just bring back... I bring back the Scholar of the Lost Trove to counter Niv Mizzet. No, not Niv Mizzet, Korvold. Yeah, just swinging with this guy. We really need to push the damage here. That is our out. That is our out. Right, because we have full information of what they're doing thanks to the Oracle. So now they're thinking, I can remove a blocker, but you actually can't. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen, and they don't have haste. And by bringing back the Scholar, that is also lethal in the air, right? That's 8 damage in the air, and yeah, like this attack here was really important. Even though it looks really risky, I don't think it is too risky because we already know what is in their hand here. If they play Korvold to draw cards, we're just going to counter that with the Scholar from the Grave. Beautiful, just beautiful. Yes, that is fine.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
No. So now, obviously, I could just... Yeah, if they swing in first, right? Yeah, I think I'm just going to Swan Song it. Yeah. I think that makes the most sense. Oh no, Swan Song actually gives them a flyer so they can block. But we have... Yeah, we have... Oh, if we put an upkeep stop, we have enough zombies to swing past. So that's pretty nice. But not if they swing in first, we're forced to use the Scarab God here. Because they have 4 attackers, we have 3 blockers, but if they don't force us to use that right now and then make the Korvold, like play the Korvold in main phase 2, if they play Korvold in main phase 1, that would obviously be the best scenario, but like forcing us to get back a blocker in this case, yes, that doesn't matter at all. Perfect. Just play the Korvold, just do it. Yes. Yes. We are going to body double the Scholar. Body double. Get a copy of Scholar. Then get a Disdainful Stroke, no, an Essence Scatter most likely. Yep, Essence Scatter the Korvold. Perfect. Nice. And then we put an upkeep stop. Because... Oh no, we have the If Near Deadlands to get rid of as well. But we could put an upkeep stop to get back 2 zombies. And that would have us at 4 zombies in total. That would put them to 4 and then swing in with these 2. And... Oh no, they can play the Grazer, so not... So playing the body... Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4... 1, 2, 3, 4, so we would have also needed to top deck a land, but with the Force Scry that would have been okay, because then we could, like, Heartless Act the Arboreal Grazer. Yeah, like, we were fine anyways. That was just a bit more value, but it was unnecessary value, if that makes sense. Oh, okay. Another play we could have made is Heartless Act in our upkeep. kill something, and then bring back the original Scholar to remove something else with the Heartless Act. Okay, I think that's also what we're going to do. Yep. And that is a good game. Coming back from 1 HP. We are doing it. No, kind of don't want to tap you. Bring back the original Scholar. Nice. And then Heartless Act some more things. To do a thing. Remove 3 counters from this. Yep. Beautiful. Good game. Wow, that was one clutch game of Magic. Let me tell you that. That was really clutch. Yeah. Man, GG. GG. We are playing against Nicol, Bolas the Ravager. And let's see where we go from here. MTGA.exe. Oops. So that's where we go from here apparently. It is working. Slowly but surely. Beautiful. Beautiful. I don't mind this hand. At this point we just want to draw lands, but that's usually the case, right? That's we run 26 in our deck. You see? Another land. Beautiful. Okay. Where are we going from here? Yep, Argyl's Bloodfast. I don't think I want to Tails End that. And we can use the Thirst. I think our all cards in our hand are currently quite good against Nicol Bolas because we can just Languish him as well. So I'm just going to Discovery. I don't think I want to counter something on 3. I certainly want that land and the negate. I want everything. All the cards. Obviously, if we had a fatty on top there, I would have just sent that straight to the bin. But this is like having Essence Scatter, negate, and Tails End up. It is just lovely. Perfect. And yeah, we have all the reactive cards in the world. We can Thirst if nothing happens, but for sure something will happen. They are going to take a dip into their life total and then just draw a card, which is reasonable. Tails End or Nicol Bolas or Essence Scatter. It's complicated. Let's just put it that way. We could just also let it resolve and then play the Chupa, but at that point we have to discard a card anyway, so why not just make use of that card by countering Nicol Bolas in the first place? Yeah. Let's see what they will do. Nothing. Okay. Let's just Thirst. Uh, 100% this card. And I kind of want the Lily in this matchup. And I think I can discard the Chupacabra, because if they play something big, I can play Lily into reanimating the Chupacabra. So that's a neat thing to do. Ah, perfect. Let's take a look at their hand, shall we? Thoughtseize. What are you going to do, opponent? No, that's not what you want to do in response. Like, yes, you could draw a counterspell, but at the same time we get more information about the hand. I don't know how much counter magic they run. If they don't run a lot of counter magic, I don't think that's worth it. Okay, Lightning Strike can immediately take out the Liliana. Murderous Rider is also kind of not okay. The Liliana Waker of the Dead. There is just a bunch of things that can annoy us. I don't think these have high enough impact to take them. Same with these, right? So it's between the Tails and Lily and Murderous Rider. And how many cards do I have graveyard? 0 currently, but that can change quite quickly, to be honest, especially with the Evolving Wilds fueling their graveyard a bit more. I think Tails End is the cheapest thing here, and like cheap interaction is really valuable because that allows them to play other things at the same time. So let's just pass a turn here, and like it's way harder for them to play Lily and Murderous Rider in the same turn than Murderous Rider and Tails End. Okay. And yeah, okay, they play the Evolving Wilds, sure. And based on that hand, I kind of want to use the Essence Scatter on the Nicol Bolas. But honestly, I'm going to Essence Scatter whatever they play here. Really. The Negate is really valuable because that allows us to, like, in like 2 turns from here onwards, play Scarab God or Lily and then protect it with Negate. So that's probably the card that, like, if they play Lily, I'd rather use the Tails End than the Negate. Because of that. And I can Essence Scatter this anyways. So Tails End lines up with Lily, then Essence Scatter on this and Negate on the Rider. And Lightning Strike is not too bad. We just have to think about, like, when we drop Lily and minus her immediately, they have 2 turns to kill it with the Lightning Strike, so maybe it's just best to try to resolve the Lily uptick it 2 times to get it out of Lightning Strike range. Yeah. Really one thing to think about. Oh, they didn't crack the Evolving Wilds in our end step. So that's an oopsie. We could have Tails Ended that. Maybe that was correct, but I do think, like, we are not that much into tempo that it's worth it because we kind of go even more into the distance than they do. So I don't think that is worth it. They take another red source, which makes sense. Also, they're kind of choked on black, but because these are double black, so they can only really play one of those and then are locked out of black cards. Kind of want to, like, the one card I would discard with the radical idea is the Languish, but like currently Languish just lines up against their creatures quite well, so let's just relax. Yeah, perfect. This is exactly what we want. We just want to peel lands off the top of our deck, like turn after turn after turn now, and then get to the point where we can deploy our threats while keeping them safe. The main problem here is if we like... Oh, oops. They can't draw one more card. That is an oops. Yep. Anyways, I was about to say, like, when they leave up mana open, we play Lily. I think that's fine, right? Yeah, that is fine. But then, like, we play Lily and they Murderous Rider in our end step. But this is just nice because now we can protect her as well, right? Also, I don't know what they're trying to do. I think, like, they have so much card advantage, they should just, like, don't play around counterspells at all. But no, well, playing around it by playing the worst cards first, and then just dumping everything out on the field and then deploying the threats after. They run me out of counterspells, but apparently they don't want to do that. Like, that's the way I think they should play it here, but they're very, very cautious, which is actually more valuable to me in the long run. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, we have more counter magic, but we really wanted to draw land there, because that would allow us to play Scarab God or like Liliana. I think Liliana was probably better here, and then have counter magic available, but now that doesn't really work anymore. Brazen Borrow, okay, okay. That is quite the synergy they have going on there. I like it. So we have to discard a card, right? I think it's going to be the Syncopate. Because we have to Languish this board. For sure. Okay, from this point onwards, yeah. Attack first, make me discard something. And it's probably the Syncopate. We take 5 down to 18. And yeah, if they don't, like, we'd probably counter any non-creature and then leave up the creatures on the field. We counter the Nicol Bolas anyways, because that is just like a free counter because we have to discard anyways. Gleaming Overseer, Lord Wreckers. Lord Wreckers could bring back Tail's End, so that's annoying. Yeah, so we probably also counter the Lord Wreckers if they mutate that. Okay, my turn. Ah, perfect land. And play Languish on this board. Sure. If we really want to protect that Languish with a negate, we really don't want them, like, I would really want to avoid this getting countered, so we have to protect it, but I mean, it is what it is, right? Okay, that is a good sign. We could have Tails ended that, but again, kind of don't want to tap out in this situation. I don't want the Lily to hit the board. Yeah. Expel from Oraska. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, they try. They play Nicol Bolas here. I'm just thinking about it, right? If they play Nicol Bolas and like us tapping out would incentivize them to play the Nicol Bolas. Then we play Lily. So we discard the Tail's End, I suppose, right? Negate. They play Bolas. We discard Tail's End. Then we have the Essence Scatter up for the Lord Wreckers, so that can't get back the Lightning Strike. We minus the Lily onto the Ravenous Chupacabra to kill the Nicol Bolas, but at that point they have the Murderous Rider up as well. So that is a bit awkward. If we let the Brazen Borrow bounce back to hand, they have more cheap interaction over the long run of the game available and can go way better into a tempo plan from here, which is the main way we can lose this, because if we just both have like 10 more lands and just a full hand, I think I can win this. So they have to out tempo. So this is kind of stopping their tempo by doing this. And yes, now we are a bit soft to the Nicol Bolas, but I think the Lily into the Chupacabra can handle this. We could also keep the Tail's End. I mean, they could also play their own Lily. I think that would make a lot of sense here. I think that would even be better, and that would kind of be really annoying, right? Flaming Overs here, okay. Not a threat, perfect. Because this was their window to deploy an actual threat, but this is just like, I don't care about this, right? So that's nice. They mutate the Lordwreckers onto the zombie army to get back the Tail's End. But if they do that, I have the opening to do something here because they are tapped out. So that is really great overall. And I think this is the, like, this is the point where we just play the Scarab God because we kind of don't mind Scarab God getting hit by a Murderous Rider in general. Also, remember this is not an army anymore, so mass tokens will create a future, like, new amass will make a separate pile, and this doesn't have hexproof anymore. So yeah, I think Murderous Rider would be the straightforward play. I would love if they just try to, like, drop a Lily on us, and then we counter that, because after all, they do have enough cards in the graveyard. Okay. Haha. Okay, here's an interesting thing. We could not move the Scarab God into command zone. Was this always that's always the first line of play that you think about with Scarab God? Not move it into command zone and then like let it go back with their own trigger to the hand to avoid the commander cost. But if we do that, they Tail's End. But if they do that, they don't have mana to stop the Lily, and then we can bring back the Scarab God manually, and that way we get back, like, we get value out of the Lily. Even though it will get Murderous Rider, but I think that is a fine trade. So we don't move the commander back, they counter that with their Tail's End. Right? They could counter this with the Tail's End, or like just at their end step. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm currently thinking about cycling the Thirst for Meaning with the Radical idea. If they obviously don't do anything else in their turn. It is something to think about. Or they're just going to Tail's End the Scarab God itself when we play it again, so that's maybe a smarter idea. Interesting. I think I would wait here on the Tail's End and then Tail's End the Scarab God when I replay it. Because they know we know they have the Tail's End in hand, right? Yeah, lovely hand. And now we could move it into the command zone for value with the Radical ID, but I don't think that is worth it. So let's just cycle the Thirst for Meaning here, because we're kind of like, we need mana. In this case, obviously, something like an Agent of Treachery would be really nice here. Then we would just steal a land from them. Ah, yes. Yes, perfect. We take the Tail's End out of their hand. And that can let us resolve the Scarab God. And if they counter this, we still can play the Scarab God, because then they don't have mana for the Tail's End. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat. We can also Feel of Ruin the Castle Lochthwain. No, you don't do that. Why do you give me additional information? Anyways, this is the part where we take the Lily, because Tail's End doesn't do much anymore, because okay, here's the thing. we don't have counters for the Tails End, but our counters obviously line up really well with the Nicol Bolas, with Nicol Bolas and Lily. But again, I think I can just do this, right? And that will be fine. Maybe I should have taken the Tails End though. I really want them to just like Liliana's Reaver vs the Scarab that, and that is just like beautiful as well. Interesting. Maybe in hindsight I should have taken the Tails End because now they can just kill it with the Murderous Rider and we were in the same position basically. And if they had like played the Liliana. Okay. Same idea here, right? We still have a Ravenous Chupacabra in the grave we can bring back. Okay, they are slowly but surely trying to kill us, which is obviously not fine, but it is a thing that happens. Yes, hand. And yeah, we let the Lily be countered. Sure. Tails End the Lily, sure. Nah. Yeah, I think I misplayed with not taking the Tails End. Oh well, it happens. If they let this resolve, we are 100% using the minus of the Lily. On the to get back our Chupacabra to kill the Lordrak is to take a bit of pressure off the board. Yeah. I have to Tails End this though, right? And also, like, if they Tails End this, then we can Scarab God and activate it in the same turn. Perfect.
You're standing in my
Just
way.
perfect. I mean, if they Tails End this activation, that like gave us 2 life essentially, right? Lily, bring back Chupacabra. And also note that that creature is still a creature that can go to the graveyard again. That is weird. Don't know why they would do that. Oh well. Good for us, right? Because now we still have the actual creature in the graveyard that we can bring back with the Scarab God. We also have the Blackguard, the Brazen Borrower at our disposal, so just a bunch of beautiful creatures here. And yeah, this is the point where we really start to control the game. Ghost Quarter, no, that's really not relevant here. The Bloodfast will like give them a bunch of life overall though. We are going down to 9 this turn. What are they trying to do here? Sure. They don't want to... No, that's fine. That is fine here. It is an interesting matchup, which we almost punted. But yeah, I think we can get back here. We can get back. Yeah. Those are obvious attacks, I like that.
You failed to
And they
entertain me.
can make us pay 6 additional mana. And we don't have that, so they counter the yeah, sure, counter it. Counter your heart out. Yeah. Okay. They are thinking if they don't counter the Scarab God, they are in trouble though. Because we can bring back Ravenous Chupacabra at instant speed, we can have like counter spells for their other creatures, it's just lovely. The Hypno Rivulet, we can use that to mill ourselves at the end step, which does make sense, I believe. They're hovering the Bloodfest. If they want to counter the Scarab God, they can do so right now. And I think they should. Okay. Nice. We could have Tails ended that, but I kind of want to, like, the Scarab God to resolve and then, like, us using the activated ability. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So that means we are getting value out of the Scarab God. And we can use the Rivulet to mill ourselves, which is also great. And we are going to, like if they have a mutate flyer, we're just going to Essence Gather that away. We can Tails End, pesky legendaries, or triggered abilities. Okay. So that flips into, yeah, Diamond Valley, I believe, is the card. Something like that. What do they have in grave? So total cards like reanimation targets are Honest Blackguard and Brazen Borrower. And we can then, yeah, it's Chupacabra onto the Lord Wreckers. Right, right. Depends. It depends. So, yeah, we're going to Tails End that. Because we discard a card anyways. And then we can bring back the Croxa with the Scarab God to just let it die again. In our turn. Oh well. What else? Essence Scatter. Nope. Yes, autopay. Oh my god. One thing to note. They, like, Magic Arena really hates tapping the Rivulet for anything, so you have to make sure that, like, this case we, like, when we tapped, that was, like, not really a good thing. Like, when we tapped it earlier, we tapped it wrong. Oh well. Could activate the Scarab God here, but I don't think that's necessary. Let's mill ourselves. And we mill 4. And if we get an agent, we are very, very happy. Hostage Taker and Dream Eater. How much do we have here? We have 2 activations here. How does this work? Let's get back the Hostage Taker, shall we? And then get rid of their big card here, the Lord Drakus. And then we can bring them to 2 life, right? By removing their cards here. But maybe... So how does this work? Can we actually use the mutate ability out of... We can cast that? Dunno. Yes, we can. Perfect. Wait. And we can only... What is this? That is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So let's just not do anything here. Keep the Lord Rackers there and let us, like... So if they try to... Oh, yes. Sure, we mill. Oh my god, yes, and then we body double the Chupacabra. So now we get the U and destroy you. And that comes back as a 2-2. Right? Because it is a body double after all. So Croxa can bring us down to 5 life. It's really down to the wire right now. Really something. I should have also attacked with the Scarab God first, I believe. Depends. But yeah, I did not know about that interaction, that I can only then, like, if I steal a mutate card, I can only mutate the opponent's card. Mutate it. Put it under a target non-human creature you own. That is weird. Or is it a bug? Like, tell me in the comments if that is just like a bug with the Lord Rackers and MTGA. I don't know. I really am curious, and I think, in fact, I might look that up after the game. Maybe not. Because forgetting things is my special ability. Okay, well, let's look at their hand. Like, what do they have at disposal? At their disposal, they have 2 unknown cards to us. Right, 2 unknowns, then Thassa's intervention is not really effective anymore, because our threat is already in the board. If they Croxa, they like really lock them out of their colors, because then they mainly have blue and like they have blue, then red blue and black blue, and one the colors, right? So Croxa just decimates their other options, really. Nicol Bolas isn't too much here. We have no cards in hand. The Harvest of Souls isn't really threatening the Leanna's Reaver. And remember, we still have a Dream Eater and the original Chupacabra in the graveyard, so we can remove 2 more cards from their side of the field. So that is also a thing to think about. I don't think they are in a position... Like, depending on what those cards are, but they may or may not have to use the Bloodfast here, like as a desperation play. And also, they're at 7 life, so one thing they could have done in their upkeep in response to the Bloodfast trigger, they could have, like, paid 2 again, so that flips. And what that would have done is they would be able to bring back the Croxa, right, bring us down to 5, and then blocks, like if we remove the Croxa, or like if they blocked just in response to anything, they could just sacrifice the Croxa to gain 6 life, right, and that would have kept them in the game, I believe, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so not flipping the Bloodfast there was kind of crucial. Also, that would have only cost 1 mana technically, because this flips into 1 more mana, but yeah, you want to use the other ability of the Temple of Aklas, I believe, something like that. Diamond Valley. Is it Diamond Valley? Let me look that up. Diamond Valley? I think Rabian Knights, Diamond Valley, Scryfall. Yeah, it is a Diamond Valley. Huh. Cards. Nice. Anyways, back to the game. What else? I think they're really in a pickle here. Because if they just flood the board, we still win. Yeah. Not much they can do here, really. Not much. But also this is... I suspected that it would work like this, but it's nice to have a confirmation that when you reanimate a body double, the Scarab God doesn't override power and toughness. So that is one thing to also keep in mind with the body double. I could have obviously gotten back something from their graveyard, but this way, like, they were threatening to, like, block the Scarab God with the Enforcer, and I really didn't want to have that happen at all. That was bad, and bad not good. They are still thinking. Also, about this deck in general, we are currently running out of cards, right? And I think this is this deck kind of wants to, tends to run out of cards in general. But I'm kind of fine with that because we always have something to do with our mana thanks to the Scarab God here, right? So that is fine. We can also bring back this Dream Eater and then manipulate the top of our library to our liking. Which is also very relevant, right? So we always have something to do here. I think I'm just going to put a stop in our upkeep because what that does is if they play something here, we can just upkeep Dream Eater and then manipulate our draws. Storm's Wrath is something though. But is it enough? Not yet. Not yet. Because we can still swing in with the Scarab God. Right? And that would allow us... Yeah, like even if they just play a creature, they have to finish off the Scarab God in order to survive this turn. Otherwise, we're just going to upkeep, bring back the Dream Eater, and Ravenous Chupacabra, whatever stays on the field. Also, one thing to note is that the the damage drain from Scarab God really adds up. Okay, let's bring back you. Yep, and then just keep the trigger on the stack. No, we don't need any of those, obviously, because we have lethal, right? So that goes back to the hand, and then we are just going to get the original Chupacabra back, kill the Lord Rakkus in this case, and that is good game. Yep, really want to bounce that. Ah, a land, just what we needed. GG, that was one long game, damn. GG. So, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay as much as I did. We are done with the games and this is a list. I enjoyed this list, it is very fun. We didn't play or get to play Agent of Treachery as much as I wanted to, but oh man, Scholar of the Lost Trove pulling through, that was like an amazing card in multiple of the matches, right? And yeah, you can see what the deck is capable of, really. You can disrupt them early, just enough to get there. And there are just a ton of cards that I want to include here. Like I usually add a bunch of cards and then cut down, but I already had problems when I was like at 71 cards in the deck and I still wanted to add a few cards. It's like absolutely insane. One card you could add in the mana base is Phyrexian Tower to be able to sacrifice your own cards and then bring them back for the ETBs. Yeah, that's just like a lovely idea, right? And if you think the colorless land won't hurt too much, you can do that. Maybe you can replace the Ifnir Deadlands, but that's just a desert. Can come in clutch against certain decks, against like Thalia, whatnot, and yeah, I like that, even though it never got played. Depends, right? I have to see. Yeah. this is my version of Scarab God. Tell me in the comments what your version of Scarab Gods look like, what different approaches you have. Obviously more life linkers would be nice against burn or something like that, but this is not as good against burn as other decks with like where they play 2 mana death touch life linkers and whatnot, right? But overall I think this deck can also just get there, and it is really grindy and amazing at that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to support the channel, subscribe to the channel, comment on the video, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.